how much weight I lost in the last year with my ZEPBOUND weight loss, and 7 tips for you to help you with your ZEPBOUND 2.5 milligram journey and beyond. Hi friends, I'm Elizabeth, Countess of Shopping. I have lost a whopping total 85 pounds in the last 16 months with my ZEPBOUND weight loss and my Mounjaro weight loss. Mounjaro and ZEPBOUND are the same thing, by the same maker of Eli Lilly. Mounjaro is simply FDA approved for type 2 diabetes, and ZEPBOUND is approved for chronic obesity management. And on today's episode, I'm gonna go through and tell you what the exact data. I pulled up all of my, you guys know I'm a data nerd, honey. I pulled up all my exact data to hopefully help you on your ZEPBOUND weight loss journey, your Mounjaro weight loss journey, and if you're on other GLP-1 weight loss medications like WEGOVY or compounds like semaglutide or tirzepatide, these tips are applicable too, so share it with your bestie. Let's go ahead and dive in. Oh, and my promise to you is you'll have those 7 tips to help you if you're just starting your ZEPBOUND 2.5 milligram journey or all the way beyond that as well. Let's dive in. I think that there's a key difference between phase 1 versus what I'm calling phase 1. No one else is calling it this, but this is what I'm calling from my experience, strength, and hope. And again, I'm not a medical doctor. Simply my journey, my weight loss journey, having been on Mounjaro and then switched over to ZEPBOUND because of the Mounjaro shortage, to ZEPBOUND because of the ZEPBOUND shortage, and now over to a compound, which we can talk about that near the end. But I've got your 7 tips for you. The first one that I'm breaking it down in the first year, so collectively, I have lost a total of 85 pounds in almost 16 months. In a couple of days, it'll be 16 months total of being on a GLP-1 medication. Going back through my data, this is what I found fascinating. The first 4 months of my weight loss journey, are you ready for this? I lost 41 pounds, which is crazy. Now, a couple of disclaimers on there. One, I had and have a lot of weight to lose. I lost, my goal starting GLP-1 medications was to lose 100 pounds. And so, that's why I lost so much weight those first 4 months, because I had a lot to lose. So if you're comparing apples to apples, first and foremost, don't. Take this information and talk to it with your healthcare provider. Again, I'm not a healthcare provider. You may have other medical conditions that may be making your weight loss slower. And we're going to talk about that too. If you're a turtle, fellow turtles unite. So in that first 4 months, I lost 41 pounds. After that, so remember, I've been on Mounjaro and ZEPBOUND for the last 16 months. So the last year, I've lost a total of 43 pounds, which when I was doing this data, when I was reviewing all of my information and going back through all of my weight loss, y'all, I was kind of sad. I was like, oh, I thought it was more than that. It was kind of a gut punch as I was going through. I was like, no, I thought it was more than that. But it has been an amazing journey, truly life-changing, game-changing. To lose 43 pounds in the last year, that is a huge feat. And as my husband, the count, keeps reminding me, and what I want to remind you is, I could not lose weight easily previous to taking a GLP-1 medication. And now I feel, air quote, normal, like how a normal person would feel when they get full. That appetite suppression, but also the fullness that comes with it, is a totally foreign concept, was a foreign concept, and is currently a foreign concept for me. But I'm still continuing. I mean, I feel like I'm smarter than the average bear, but sometimes I feel so dumb when it comes to appetite suppression or feeling full. Like, it's still a new nuance for me. So that's tip number 1 for you, for your journey. Again, and please don't compare yourself to me. Please, everyone runs their own race. And this is, the count told me this too, of when I was like, man, I only lost 43 pounds in that 1 year. And he's like, babe, you couldn't lose weight prior to that. And in fact, not only could you not lose weight, you would gain weight. Or the weight that you would lose, you would very quickly gain it back. I had lost 80 plus pounds with keto. And then COVID happened and I gained it all back and then some. So tip number 1 is the first year is different for me than where I'm in now, which is what I'm calling phase 2. So if you're just starting, we're going to talk about that ZEPBOUND 2.5 milligrams or Mounjaro 2.5 milligrams. And then if you're in phase 2, like I am, you're going to want to stay till the end, because there's different nuances as you learn different skill sets. I'll use my I statements, as I've learned different skill sets that I think are important that no one really talks about, because this is also new at the very genesis of GLP-1 medications. So number one is portion sizes. It's going to these fundamentals of, with ZEPBOUND 2.5 milligrams or Mounjaro 2.5 milligrams, going from like this portion size to this. Typically for me, day 1 and day 2, I only usually eat one meal, sometimes a snack in there, but adjusting to that, and then Eli Lilly, the manufacturer of Mounjaro and ZEPBOUND, tell us we need to make permanent lifestyle changes. And so for me, with those portion changes, I've been given this amazing gift. But what I choose to use with that gift is my choice, right? Eli Lilly has helped me go from this plate size, approximately, to this plate size, and figuratively and literally. Like now I eat off like appetizer plates and smaller plates. I've got linked down below a couple of Amazon shopping lists for you there too. But so that portion size has varied. And so that's number one of getting used to that. Again, I think I'm smarter than the average bear, but feel very slow in the sense of continuously, like, I don't need to eat that much food. And sometimes my husband reminds me when we go out to restaurants, I'll order an appetizer, a side salad, a meal, and he's like, there's no way you're gonna eat that. Like, you're gonna eat the salad and then you're gonna be like, I'm full. Or you're gonna have half the appetizer and a couple bites of your salad and be like, I'm done. And so I'm still, to be fully transparent, I'm still learning. I'm still learning that portion thing is still a continuous learning lesson, because on different days it feels different. Near shot day 1 and day 2, I am not hungry. But near day 7, like I was yesterday was day 7 for me, I was ready. Homegirl was eating. She had breakfast, she had lunch, and she had dinner, and a little bit of dessert if I'm keeping it honest. And then today I haven't. It's 1 o'clock and I still haven't eaten. I've had a decaf coffee, and I'm going to have here in just a minute one of my amazing LMNT electrolytes, which we're going to talk about. So that was number 1. Number 2, in my tips to help of what I've learned over the last year, but really 16 months, the last year, is side effects. When I was just starting ZEPBOUND 2.5 milligrams, is the side effect thing. It's different now being on, I'm currently on ZEPBOUND 15 milligrams / Mounjaro. I've been on both Mounjaro 15 milligrams and now ZEPBOUND 15 milligrams. So we can call it Mounjaro ZEPBOUND, ZEPBOUND Mounjaro. We're gonna hybrid them together, and soon to be on a compound, which we'll talk about too. So my side effects have changed. I never had nausea until now on ZEPBOUND 15 milligrams. I'm like I feel like I'm being like, am I pregnant? I'm not. There's no way. I'm not. But having this nausea come back, I haven't had that since I was preggers. Like, so this has been very weird to me to be like, When I first started my journey, y'all, there's 4 major ones, and they're the most common because they're gastrointestinal side effects are diarrhea, constipation, nausea, and vomiting. And so I have experienced, not the vomit, I've not experienced the vomiting. Thank goodness. I hate yickety yakking. But the other 3, oh my gosh. And when I change doses, for me, I get different ones. And so when I got on ZEPBOUND 2.5 milligrams, Mounjaro 2.5 milligrams, I thought, oh, okay, I made it through not having that nausea. I'm good. And then now, surprise, a year plus later, surprise, surprise, surprise. Now I'm like, oh, like I get nauseous. I can get nauseous pretty easily. So that's one thing with the side effects. But the biggest part of that has actually helped me so incredibly much is LMNT electrolytes with side effects. I bought LMNT electrolytes 16 months ago when I first started my weight loss journey. I bought LMNT electrolytes because I knew their reputation of being superior for electrolytes, and working with so many athletes. I'm like, oh yeah, that's what I want. And it helped me with leg cramps, stomach issues of both constipation and diarrhea with Mounjaro, and now with ZEPBOUND too. And it's really easy to travel with, which is one of the reasons I like them, is they are little travel packets. Now, I love these because it has magnesium, potassium, and sodium in them. I have done so many trips. You guys know my real job is I'm a video marketing strategist. So I travel and work with luxury clients, luxury brands, and celebrity clients throughout the United States for different projects. And for example, I just got back from Las Vegas for a client. She was one of the keynote speakers, and we were doing a whole video production for her. Guess what I had in my bag? When I was on the airplane, popped these bad boys out and had it in my beverage on the airplane out to Vegas, on the airplane back, and while I was in Vegas. They are amazing. And my son, actually, the Duke, he's 8 years old, is a really good soccer player. And so this is what he takes. He gets very bad leg cramps. So my kid takes it too. His favorite is the orange salt. My personal favorite is the raspberry salt. Actually, the Duke's favorite is, watermelon. He's going to get mad at it. And the orange, that one, my family, I give them to family members. And one of my family members was just talking and raving about the orange salt. So I'm gonna pour this in. I use glass carafes. You don't have to by any means. Y'all know I'm a little bit bougie. We get a little bit bougie here at Countess Shopping. You certainly don't have to use a glass carafe, but as a former bartender, bartended my way through college, I like mixing it in the glass carafe, and then I put it into my, I already have ice in it. And my Simple Modern, I used to use Stanley's, but quite frankly, Stanley's, the top can have mold on it. So I don't use Stanley's anymore. I use Simple Modern because you don't have to, the lid, like on Stanley, you have to wash this. So one of the things that I love is you can just pop that on there. And then this is a 40-ounce tumbler. It comes with me everywhere with my LMNT electrolytes. I am obsessed. Helps with those side effects. Now, LMNT Electrolytes has been incredibly gracious to give the Countess of Shopping community 8 free sticks with any purchase. And they are awesome. Again, my favorite is the raspberry salt. I'm a raspberry girl in general. I'd rather have something fruity besides chocolate. So I really, really love the raspberry salt. So good. But again, they have a ton of flavors. The Duke's favorite is watermelon. They do have spicier ones too. Many people in my free Mounjaro weight loss encouragement group, I'll link that down below too. But here's the website that you can order your LMNT electrolytes. It's DRINKLMNT it's .com/queen, QUEEN. You can get your own, and they've been very gracious to give our community 8 free sticks. So take advantage of that. I do not order my electrolytes anywhere else. I only ordered them directly from the vendor, directly from LMNT, directly from them. I feel like I have to say it till I'm blue in the face. I do not buy them anywhere else. I buy them from the manufacturer. So, and that has been the best decision. There's many reasons why to that, but I'm obsessed with them. That is so good. And I walked 2 miles this morning. I sweat so much. If you find that you're working out more, having the electrolytes too has been very, very helpful for body recovery for me with them. So I highly recommend. That was number 2. Number 3, protein. That first year, focusing on these food changes, again, I had an unhealthy relationship with food. Quite frankly, you can't be 100 pounds overweight, in my opinion. I'll use my I statements. I can't be 100 pounds overweight without having an unhealthy relationship with food. And chronic obesity management, learning how to eat protein and changing the way I've eaten, working with a dietitian, has been paramount. And so having that 100 to 120 grams of protein. And then for the first year, learning how to travel. How do you travel with Mounjaro? And I've done other videos on that, like how to use the Mounjaro Travel Case. I'll link that down in the description. You just click that .more button here on YouTube, and that will show you the description link. But how to travel with it. There's a traveling case that I use that's very inexpensive, but so helpful. What do I do when I get those side effects? Like learning this first year has been amazing. It's been so obviously life altering, but also at times I feel like I'm an infant of like, man, I don't know anything. And now I've had to learn. So take my lessons, not the scars, as Alex Hormozy says. You can take all of my learning lessons within that first year. But then here's the other part that I said that no one really talks about is, okay, beyond the first year. So you've been on, for me, I was on Mounjaro and ZEPBOUND for 1 year. Now, after that, I'm 4 months into my second year. It's different because those fundamental beginning structural things, I pretty much feel like I know, but also I'm actively still continuing to learn. But now what I'm focusing in on is the ZEPBOUND shortage. Okay, how do I get my medication? Right now, currently, my game plan is I have my prescription in with a local pharmacy. The last 2 months I've been able to get my Mounjaro box. If I can't get it this month, I'm going over to the compound. I have a very reputable compound pharmacy and telehealth company I love. I will link that in the description link below. So the shortage for now, my 4 tips with those is focusing on the shortage and making sure I'm staying ahead so I have my doses. I refuse to go without. And so figuring out for chronic obesity management treatment plan, working with a telehealth provider that is very knowledgeable, and then also staying ahead of where I need to be able to get my prescription. which I've done a ton of other videos on, like with more like I have a whole step-by-step guide of how to deal with the ZEPBOUND shortage. And in my free encouragement group, a lot of people, thousands of people have told me, they're like, we love this plan. So it's not just for me, it's for everybody. Number 2, exercise. That has been beyond the first year. And it really, I mean, I walked, I tried to lift, I tried to do a bunch of things, but now with really in the last 4 months, and so going into the second year, I am nailing exercise, walking and wall Pilates. It's been really cool. And before this, I had done swimming. I had done a bunch of different things. And so I think that's part of the first year was figuring out, what do I like? What can I do and what do I like? Because Eli Lilly tells us exercise or physical activity needs to be a permanent lifestyle change in addition to the food. So if it's going to be a permanent lifestyle change, what am I going to do that I like? What do I enjoy? And so figuring that out again of like, well, what do I like to do? Well, I like to walk dogs. I love walking dogs. For a while, I went up to my local animal rescue. I had to get approved, but for over a month, every day I'd go walk dogs at the animal rescue. Sometimes to the neglect of Mr. Freddie, my rescue pit bull. But now I walk Mr. Freddie at least 2 miles a day, if not 3. I do wall Pilates. I'm building to build and for weight training better. I have muscle in here in my arms, like my legs are so much stronger. It has been a game changer in terms of exercise to make that permanent lifestyle change. So my question to you is, if you're not there yet with exercise to make permanent lifestyle changes, walking, it sounds so elementary, and I feel like it's the most underrated tool within the GLP-1 community to be doing. If you don't want to walk outside, walking pads. I have a whole shopping list, a ZEPBOUND Amazon shopping list of walking pads that you can pick from. Indoors, not expensive, but it takes out the resistance. What's the bottleneck preventing you from walking or from preventing you from moving your body, right? And that I'm saying for you, but I really meant for me. I was asking myself those questions of a whole day would go by and I'd be like, I haven't moved besides being in my office and working and being in my home and caring for my hot husband and my kid. I haven't done any physical activity. And why is that? And so that for me within the last 4 months beyond the first year. So within the first year, if there's too much payload or too much brain capacity of trying to figure this all out, just go walking. You can figure out the weight training later because of the muscle mass loss. Number 3, food tracking. Remember how I said about the food of learning just the portion sizes? So for me, I've recently purchased, this is my new thing that I'm very excited about, of using a smart nutrition scale, and it syncs into an app, but that is what syncs into my smart scale and my, where did I put it? My smart tape measure. All of these smart products, they have one app on them. They are the best purchase for ZEPBOUND 2.5 milligrams. They're inexpensive, but it's an easy way to track because the tracked number grows. And so I also, in addition, there's 3. There's the 4th one that I bought was their blood pressure cuff to track my blood pressure in an app all together with one app. All together now, one app. So that food tracking of realistically, what am I really eating? And for me, that's been very eye-opening to see, okay, what am I eating? Is it what I'm supposed, am I hitting that 100 to 120 grams of protein? If I'm not, why? Where's the bottleneck? Where's the holes? What can I improve? And so kind of refining what I'm eating has been really helpful in that. And then number 4, I told you I was going to give you 7 tips, but I got a bonus tip for you, is in this, I had my first year on ZEPBOUND and Mounjaro. Now in the second year of being on a GLP-1, my relationships have changed a lot, actually, with a lot of different people. Business, personal, like spiritual relationships have changed. I wasn't anticipating that. I do like to generally think 5 steps ahead most of the time. Sometimes I don't, but most of the time. I wasn't expecting for some relationships to change so much and some relationships not. Like, there was a lot of surprises for me with relationships. And so I don't know if you've encountered that, depending on where you are in your GLP-1 journey. That was very eye-opening for me, in a good way. In a good way, as I continue to get healthier, there's healthier relationships around me, right? And that has taken some outside help of working with a therapist, because losing 100 pounds of weight or on that journey, like I said, I've lost 85 on my way to 100. I have no doubt this year I will lose 100 pounds though. Mark my words, very close to that goal. Within that, I've had to work with a therapist because there's been grieving, not having a food for coping mechanisms, trying all these new things, which can be scary, and processing, okay, I'm scared. Excitement of, okay, how do you celebrate with not using food? Like, there's a lot of learning curve with that. And so that's changed relationships, and thus having a therapist to help me with that too has been very, very beneficial, because there has been a grieving and a loss. And also, not a loss, an improvement, dramatic improvement with a lot of different things. So, and no one really seems to be talking about that second stage. The first stage is like side effects and working out and getting the portion control. And then this phase 2 of like higher level, it's like 2.0 of GLP-1 medications, is the exercise component and the shortages with higher doses right now currently, the food tracking component, or just food in general choices, and changing of relationships. I do think it's important to note as well, within the first year of weight loss, hypo responders and hyper responders, learning the differences of those two, I think is really important. And that people who don't lose, for example, me being like, oh, I only lost 43 pounds. Well, I know a lot of you have been like, I've only lost 20 pounds in a year. And they're hypo responders, that is just, it just is. And that Eli Lilly does have, and we've talked about this, and other other GLP-1 pharmaceutical companies, other GLP-1 medications are in the pipeline to help hypo responders, meaning slower responders. Now, some people are hyper responders, meaning they lose a ton of weight very, very quickly. I wish I was hyper. I'm not. I'm not. I'm I think I'm hypo. Other people have said that they think that I'm hyper responder. I think that I've lost, like I said, I've lost 85 pounds for analyzing the data, which was surprising to me. I find this very surprising. Losing 41 pounds the first 4 months, and then losing 43 pounds, 44. My math was wrong. I said that daggone thing wrong the whole video. It was 44 pounds lost in the first year. Beg your pardon. 44 pounds lost. I was like, that math isn't mathin'. 44 pounds lost in the first year. But again, having a lot more weight to lose, so there's other factors that go into play with this too. So that's been my experience, strength, and hope. I do want to make sure you guys run to LMNT Electrolytes. Go ahead and order at drinkelement.com/queen to get that extra 8 free sticks. I absolutely love ordering from them. I cannot wait to sip on my electrolytes all day. Y'all ask me how many sticks I have in a day. 0 to 2. It depends. Definitely on day 0, the day before. Day 0 before my shot. Day 0, day 1, day 2, lock. Always. Literally for the last 16 months, always. I have at least 1 stick. If not more, at least 1 stick. Usually I don't have 2 sticks in a day unless I'm heavily, heavily sweating, which recently I have been because it's been 85 plus degrees here in Virginia. And so I've been sweaty Betty. And so, and then some days I don't have any. Some days my body's like, no, we're good. So I do listen to what my body is telling me, which has been one of this amazing part of this last year with ZEPBOUND and Mounjaro, learning what my body is telling me. It's telling me if I listen. It is giving me signals this whole time. So my sweet friends, our emoji today is going to be a glass. Cheers. We're doing cheers as your emoji if you've made it this far in the video. Put that emoji down in the comments below. Let me know that you got this far so I can get to know you better, because I truly do care. And then 2, I'll pray over you. If you don't believe in prayer, I'll uplift you in positive thought. But today's emoji is a cheers, or a glass, or a beverage. And then 2, this is your accountability moment. My fellow Countess, what are you doing today to move you closer to your goal? What are you doing today to move you? Tell me, type it in the comments. You know, we got to keep on this train. Choo choo. You got to be accountable, as do I. So what am I doing today? I already walked. Check. Tonight we're going to be using our new grill to be grilling. We're testing new grilling things for you guys for an upcoming episode. So I'm going to be making sure I hit my protein goals and resting. I'm going to have some fun tonight and just chill out. We're going to have a fun chill out night. So my sweet friends, be kind to yourself, be kind to others. I'm Countess of Shopping. Count my blessings, because life is delicious. We'll see you next time, sweet friends. Have a great day. Bye, guys.